Good afternoon, Raiders. Sergeant First Class Perez, giving you a class on fighting positions. Our reference for this class is TC 3-21.75, Warrior Ethos and Soldier Combat Skills, or ATP 3-21.8, Infantry, Platoon, and Squad. Whether your unit is in a defensive perimeter or an ambush line, you must seek cover from fire and concealment from observation. Alright, so what is cover? Cover is nothing more than natural or man-made materials giving protection from bullet, fragments, and enemy observation. Alright, there are three types of cover: overhead, frontal, flank, and rear cover. You also want to have concealment. Concealment is anything that hides personnel, equipment, and or vehicles from enemy observation. It does not protect from enemy fire, however. And you're going to want to use camouflage. Camouflage is anything you use to keep yourself, your equipment, and your position from being identified. Alright, so things you want to consider when picking a hasty fighting position. Alright, you want to have about 18 inches in depth and about 2 to 3 feet in width to give you some freedom of maneuver to be able to occupy different fighting positions. Once you establish your hasty fighting position, depending on time, enemy situation, you can then move over to a two-man deliberate fighting position. Once you establish that you're going to occupy a deliberate fighting position, you continuously improve that position depending on the time and the enemy situation. You also take MET-TC into consideration. You're going to set up your fighting positions. One of your leaders should come by and assign you your sectors of fire for your fighting positions. You're going to have 2 sectors of fire. Your first is going to be your primary, which is going to be to the oblique or to the flanks. And then your secondary, which is going to be straight to the frontal position in case of a frontal attack. You want to utilize sector poles or sector stakes to give you a good left and right limit, and that way you avoid fracture side and you have good fields of fire. Things you can use are tent poles, metal pickets, wooden stakes, tree branches, or sandbags for your sector stakes. Your position, you're going to want it to be about 76 inches in width, which is about 2 M4 widths apart and 1 advanced combat helmet. You're also going to want to have about 18 inches in length, 33 inches in length, which is the size of your M4 fully extended. You're going to want to make sure that your sectors of fires are overlapping, and all the sector of fire is an area in which you must observe and fire in. Once you have your sectors, you want to make sure the sectors are overlapping one another, and you also have a clear open area in front of you to be able to engage the enemy. You're going to continue to build your position up utilizing sandbags or the natural dirt that you use from your fighting position. So your fighting position, you can have 2 different types. You can have a prone fighting position, which will be about 18 inches in depth, or you can have a standing fighting position, which will be about 4 to 5 feet or armpit height. You also have time. You can cut out an area towards the back portion of it where you can store additional equipment, your rucksacks, food, or any type of ammunition depending on the weapon system that you have. You continue to fortify 360 all the way around, utilizing that camouflage, natural resources from the area surrounding you. However, like I said, you want to make sure that you don't cut out too much and make yourself stand out, make it obvious that you're there. You want to avoid leaving trash or any type of trails to your position. You want to make sure like I said, you don't cut out too much of the area, or you put something there that sticks out. All right, if you're in a wooded area, you don't want to start using a bunch of wood material, all right, because it's going to stick out as far as anything. If you have the opportunity, it's not pictured here, but you want to use some type of overhead cover. You can use camo nets, sandbags, wood, branches, anything to cover up that position. If you're going to use overhead cover, you want about 18 inches in depth of cover. You can either use overhead cover can either be upward or downward depending on the situation and MET-TC. And make sure that the 2 fighters inside are overlapping each other so they continue to keep each other awake. If they take shifts during the operation, depending on how long they're out there, they continue to monitor their sectors of fire. Said while you're in the hasty position, you're constantly developing it, making it better, looking for areas of improvement. Depending on how long you're there, you have overhead cover, or you just leave it as an open position, depending on the area and the enemy threat around you. All right, well, thanks for tuning in. This is not the know-all, be-all of fighting positions, but continue to improve on your positions while you're occupying them. All right, steadfast and loyal.